Hi guys, I'm Daria, and in this video I will tell you about my experience in Australia, that is the Christmas with the kangaroos. So everything began that I was on my holiday with my mom in Sydney, and I was on working holiday visa. I arrived with the intention to work in Australia, and my mom actually was on just touristic visa, so she came with me to spend some time and to visit this beautiful city of Sydney. But in the meantime, of course, I was thinking what to do in Australia after my mom will leave, what job I want to do, and so on. And actually, I'm graduated in veterinary, and I wanted to work with authentic Australian animals. That would be koala, kangaroos, or something like that. And of course, I was entitled to find some kind of job with these animals. Then I discovered that there is this group on Facebook that's called backpacker jobs in Australia. And just scrolling day by day, sometime while we were visiting Sydney, I would find this advertisement that actually it was a shelter near Melbourne that was looking for help on that place for helping them to take care about the kangaroos. And I was amazed. It was a fantastic opportunity, and of course, like they wanted to help also straight away, and I said, wow, that would be great if they will take me. But there were some people that already wrote them, and so I actually didn't. I was hoping, but I said, I don't know if I will make it. And actually, I wrote them, and they would answer me straight away that actually they could offer me this job. And so on 23rd of December, my mom had the airplane to come back to Italy, and I would take the plane to go to Melbourne. Wow. And so I just took the ticket for the plane. I took the Jetstar company, that is a very, very good company with which fly around Australia. So there are four companies, airplane companies which use to fly around this country. So there is Virgin, there is Tiger, there is Jetstar, and there is Qantas. So the Virgin and Qantas, they are the most expensive, but they have in the ticket already the price of the luggage. And Tiger and Jetstar, they are the cheapest ones, but you have to pay extra for the luggage. Actually, they said to me that Tiger, it's a bit too picky on the kilos that you bring in with you, and Jetstar would be the best choice, because actually I was carrying one small luggage that was about 10 kilos, and one big luggage that was about 25 kilos, and plus my backpack, a small backpack actually. And yeah, I just booked on 25 kilo luggage extra, and I paid just $139. It was on 23rd of the December. It was under Christmas time, so it was really good deal. And the airplane was super punctual, was super comfy, and the space, it was like very good management of space on airplane. So some airplanes could be like too small sometimes and not comfortable, but this one was super. I arrived to Melbourne, and of course there you have to take the tram from the airport to the city center, to the central station, where I actually booked my hostel. And also here you have to pay $17 to get to the city, so it's a bit expensive ticket from the airport to the city, and from city to the airport, because of the taxes. In the city, of course, average price is $1 to $3 to travel. And in Sydney you have the Opal card that you use to travel around the city on every kind of transport. And actually in Melbourne, that is another state, so Sydney is New South Wales, and Melbourne is in Victoria. You need another card that is my key card, you have to buy it also. You can buy it on the central station. I would suggest to use it. It will be much cheaper then. They will charge you much less to travel. And it costs $10, and just I put it like $19 to get to the city, and there $20. So yeah, it was like 40. After that, I arrived to the city and I booked my hostel just in front of Central Station, because from Central Station I had to go to another city after that. Like, it's 3 hours from Melbourne, where actually the owner of the shelter would pick me up to bring me to the shelter. And the hostel that I booked, it was just in front of Central Station, and it was a fantastic place. It called United Backpackers, and I paid just $47 for one night. It was 23rd till on 24th of December, and the room was 4 shared bedroom, just female, and we had the toilet in the room, and it was like beautiful. It was everything new. It was super clean, and like I really liked it. So I would definitely suggest this place to stay in. Actually, when I arrived, I just took a walk around, and the city center is just 2 minutes walk from there, and it's just beautiful. You have city center, the main street, and then you have also the beautiful walk that is going near the river. And there are plenty of bars and restaurants, and the musicians, like the street artists. That it's like I was walking alone, but I didn't felt alone at all, because it was so much movement around that was like crazy. It was so beautiful. And yes, the next morning I actually took my train to go to Bendigo. That was the place near like where the owner of the shelter would pick me up, and I reached this place on a regional train that took me 2 hours and a half, and I paid for it $33. It was super comfy. It was air conditioner in there, and it was a good travel. I had my space for the luggage, and it was like very chilly travel. And of course, also for this for the travels like this, I would suggest you to, when you buy the SIM card, to buy the Telstra a SIM card for the calling, because it's the best line that's working here in Australia in Outback. Because all the other lines are like working really good in the city, but when you go a bit outside, you will have like really bad lines. So Telstra is the best in this case. Bendigo, where I actually had to go, I didn't know, but it's actually a gold digger city. They like in the past it was really famous for the gold. It was plenty of gold underground, and so it is one of the oldest cities in Australia. It has about 800 years, and it is a gold digger place. It was very nice, because like it's typical one, with the small houses around, with the small bars. It's not that much activity around. I didn't see so many people, but it was like a unique experience. And it was, of course, very hot. It was December. In December here is summer, and of course if you go in Outback, it's much more hotter. If you are near the ocean, there is some breeze that refresh the air, but in Outback it's just like desert. So it was like around 50 degrees. Even asphalt would stuck a bit on the shoes, and yeah, you have to really to pay attention to this place in the summer. And the owner, she was really kind to come to pick me up, and we would make a small round of the city. She would bring me to the shop to buy some food, some extra food, because in this shelter they would give me the accommodation and the food, and then if I would like to have some extra, I can buy it by myself, of course. We would go to this shelter, that was half an hour away from this small city, and it was really a real outback, like real Australia. It was the ground all around. It was reddish, so kind of red color, like on Mars, and plenty of eucalyptus trees and large areas of like place just the nature, with nothing, no houses, nothing, and it was unique. And we arrived to this shelter, and here there were of course plenty of kangaroos. It was fantastic, and there were big kangaroos about 2 years. There were like smaller kangaroos, even like 2 months kangaroos, and there would be, of course, I didn't know how to talk to them, but they were really, really kind. They would come to you, they would smell you, they would take your hand and they would lick it. And yes, they just used that we are humans and we are here to help them, because in the shelter they would recuperate the kangaroos, of course, mostly the small ones, which could not jump the fences, while the moms could jump the fences that would protect such an areas, and small kangaroos could not jump and they would be left behind, and so the moms a lot of times actually leave them, or they try to jump and actually they injure themselves, and so we would manage also the injuries. And so these small ones, they were recuperated by this center, by this lady that actually she made her house a shelter, and so it was a volunteering thing. It's very nice of her, and she would take the people like us that we are backpackers, and we are here in Australia, and we would love to work with these fantastic animals, and she organized this fantastic opportunity. The main duties, of course, it was to feed these animals. The big ones we would feed with the grass, with the dry grass, and the small ones we had to feed them with the milk. So we would have a powder milk that we had to prepare it before, and then we would warm it up, and we would prepare the bottles specific for different kangaroos. We would weigh them once a week, and in base of their weight we would give them certain amount of milk. And also all these kangaroos would have some color on the ears, that we would spray them, so we know exactly who they are. They would also have some names, and so they would also answer when we call them. And we would organize this room with like milking room, and so the kangaroos already know that we would milk them, and so would come there, and while we're preparing milk they already like would come to us and would hug our hand or our leg and would like ask for food. And yes, this was very, very nice. And then it was so I arrived in the shelter on 24th, and on 25th of December it was a Christmas. So it was a really special day for me. It was first experience in Australia, and on Christmas I would be with these kangaroos. So we took the kangaroos, we took the hats, the Christmas hats, and we would make the picture with all of them. It was very, very cute, and we spent all the day around the kangaroos. So this is my experience. I hope that you enjoyed my story and you learned a lot of tips how to travel around the city and what to visit and which experience you can make. I hope that we see us soon. Bye bye.